Hello there. What is going on, everyone? We have some Mandalorian previews to talk about today. We have the heroes that are coming in the new Mandalorian set that is coming out in June. We're only a couple of weeks away. It's very, very exciting. And there was also another article talking about the Mandalorian troopers. So we're going to kind of cover both of those. And I also want to talk about some of these super groovy promos that we are giving away. We got some cool ones that are up on Patreon right now, depending on which tier you're at. As a Patreon member, there's different giveaways that are going on. So if you are on the fence about ever doing Patreon, there's links in the description below. You can check all of those out. Also, links to our great sponsors. If you want to check out Game Toppers or Battle Foam, we have great discount codes for both that are like floating above my head right now, and also linked in the video description below. So also we're doing our $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my other videos letting me know what your favorite clan for Mandalorians is. We're going to be talking a little bit about the Armorer and Paz Vizsla, and then of course Axe Woves and Bo-Katan Kryze, because they're getting some cool previews in this one. By the way, we're also going to be doing, look at this Axe Woves. Look at this Axe Woves. Look how shiny it is. This one's going up on Discord right now. We're going to be doing more giveaways. We have lots more. We'll be announcing a live stream next week where we're going to do a lot more giveaways. But if you want to early check out that, you can jump in our Discord and the giveaways channel in there. And links are going to be in the description below. And then there's more giveaways happening on Patreon right now as well. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to jump over and just start talking about these. I'm going to kind of go over in the scene to stats a little bit, talk about these. So first off, Bo-Katan is up first, savior of Mandalore. She's leading the Night Owls, and they're also able to be mercenaries for the Rebels or the Republic, which is pretty cool. She is a commander. She's 5 health, 3 courage, surge to crit, surge to block, speed 3, red save, full Mandalorian armor with impervious also, so very cool. She's got jump 2, death from above, which is always nice if you're attacking higher, then you don't get the cover, right? She's got Mandalorians are stronger together. We don't know exactly what that does, but it works when you're near another Mandalorian. And then tactical 1. She's got the dual blaster pistols that are melee up to range 2 also, which is 2 red and 2 black. We know she's also going to have a dark saber. They talk about it a little bit. Here's also her upgrades. She's got the weapon upgrade. She's got the grenade upgrade. She's got 2 equipment, 2 training, and command. 110 points. She's loaded. Absolutely loaded. I think the way to run her is going to be with a dark saber. I think that's going to be definitely, well, not always, right? Theoretically, you might run her with Sabine and maybe running her in the Rebels, and maybe Sabine's running the dark saber, right? Like, you know, like it's very curious. I'm curious how they're going to do all of that. I think the dark saber is going to be basically 5 dice with Pierce 1 or something like that. You know, I don't think it's going to be too much of a departure from what we've seen before. But then again, it might work better under Bo-Katan. It might be the best we've seen it yet. Who knows? Who knows? Well, we will know soon. All right, we're only weeks away. We also got to look at her some of her command cards. We've got a higher purpose of 1 pip. At the start of Bo-Katan's next activation, she can make a recover action. She gains Barrage and Relentless this round. Additionally, while she is engaged, her weapons gain Pierce 1. This is one of those awesome attack 1 pips that you love to see. It's even more Pierce than she normally gets. This is going to be great against everybody except for Jedi that are immune to Pierce. You know, especially good if you're not impervious too, although still better to have it than not. But yeah, no, this is a great one. This is a great one to cut people down. Pierce is just so nasty, such a strong keyword, and it does point out the Darksaber already has Pierce. This is increasing that Pierce. Again, that's a numerical value, so it's going to stack. Very cool. Mandalorians will survive. Bo-Katan, Kryze, and 2 units. That's cool. We don't see Sasha Banks in the backyard in the background there, so I wonder if she's coming at some point or not. It says when a unit is issued an order with this card, it may remove a suppression token. Always a nice thing to be able to do, especially Mandos that tend to get shot and not actually take wounds, but they still have to take that suppression. This round, when an allied Night Owl unit that has a face-up order token makes an attack action during its activation, after the effect is resolved, it may make a speed 1 move. This allows you to stick and move, hit and move, hit and move. And Mandos are already usually pretty fast. We're going to see some initiates and stuff that aren't quite as fast. We're going to see some Mandos a little bit later that aren't, their basic core. Not everybody are the elites, but generally Mandos are pretty fast, which is pretty cool. We got Axe Woves. Now there is this is just a preview. This isn't the final version. There is a typo on here, but I want to assure you that this card does not have the typo. It's with his Vibro Knife. The Vibro Knife is a K, and there should be a K in there for knife instead of 2 N's. So that's just a typo. Not going to be the final version, obviously. The printed version that I have actually has the K on there, so which, if you win, you will see. Okay, Axe Woves, Cunning Warrior, Mandalorian Trooper, Operative. All right, with the Night Owls, also Mercenary, also with Rebels or Republic. So you can bring both of them over there and do some cool stuff. Right, there's a lot of fun list building options that you can do. I love thematic list building options. I think it's a lot of fun. Maybe like bring Din Djarin in with these. Well, there's limits to how many operatives you can really take, but it's gonna be fun. So we've got Jump 2, Charge, love it, right? Coordinate for a Night Owl Trooper unit, very good. Impervious, as you would expect. Again, still, he only has Surge to hit. He doesn't have the Surge to crit, but it's still good. 5 health, 2 courage. Tactical 1, which is going to be a nice way to kind of make up for the lack of crits there. And then he also has Mandalorians are stronger together. This is a theme. This is something you're going to see on the Night Owls, right? That's like their faction keyword. They're going to get a bonus as if they're close to each other. I think it's probably going to be range. My guess is it's going to be range 2, and you get like an aim or a dodge or something like that. This seems like that's my guess. He does feature 2 training, a comms, 2 equipment, and a grenade. I'm also guessing, based on the fact that there's so many equipment, I think we're going to see some, obviously, we're going to see some kind of Mandalorian equipment, right? We're going to see some kind of shields or flamethrowers or whipcord launchers or something like that. The Mandalorians always have a bag of tricks. I wonder if we're going to see some equipment that's, unique to leaders, or if it's just going to be like, look, anybody in any Mandalorian can take this equipment and stuff like that. I can't wait to see the Mandalorian equipment, because I'm guessing there's going to be some here. By the way, I love this art for both of these. Again, my buddy Darren Tan did this one. Darren, if you're watching, excellent work. I love this background too. Bo-Katan, of course, looks fantastic, but the background looks heavenly. I love that. That one's awesome. This one's very cool, but like I like the background of all the Gauntlet fighters kind of landed with the wings up too. Like that's a very impressive background also. Really great artists. I love the art in these cards too. It's always a fun thing. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the Armorer. All right, she's got her covert of the watch. They're calling this the what are they calling this one? They're calling this one the Tribe, the leader of the Tribe, a covert of the Children of the Watch. So I guess we're calling this the Tribe for that faction symbol, for the Armorer's faction. That's fine. Okay, so that's what I'll refer to it for the rest of this video. Look, she's awesome. 6 health, 3 courage, no offensive surge, but she does have critical 1 on the hammer and tongs, not thongs. Critical 1, impact 2, and pierce 1, and it's 6 dice. That's a strong attack. She's kind of like the Mandalorian Darth Vader, right? She kind of is. It's very, very cool. I still think she's Rook cast, all grown up and angry, right? I still think she is. We'll see. Search for block. She's got jump 2, aid for other tribe, charge, which of course is going to be great for her incredible melee focus. And again, she's not a ranged attacker here, right? We're not seeing no built-in guns. She is going to smash you, and she's going to smash your face in really good. Impervious, she does have reliable 1, which is going to be a nice way to make sure that she can like at least convert one more of those beyond the critical 1. So So that's a good thing. And then she has This Is the Way, move one or recover one. They talk about This Is the Way a little bit, that if she's issued an order, she can do This Is the Way to give another troop something cool. So she can let somebody else move or recover too. So she's helping. She cares about her children, right? She cares about those around us. She's saying, I got an order, but something for me and something for you. It's a very, very cool mechanic. By the way, this is one of those things that makes me feel really cool about the way that they've done the Mandalorians, because this just seems fun. The theming is fun. I love it. I just love it. Very, very cool. Very cool. All right. And then we have the backer. Now, she's 120 points. By the way, how cool is the framing around her points with the forge? Oh, graphics design team. You just knocked it out of the park with this one. I love it. It's great. All right, she's got 2 commands. She's got training and, of course, 2 equipment. Also, really good art there. Really good art there. Love it. Christy Ballan... oh, wait, hold on. Balanescu? Christy Balanescu. Sorry if I got your name wrong, but... amazing artwork. Thank you for this tremendous work, Christy. You're kicking butt. Keep up the great work. I love it. And Ryan Valley, right here. Look at this. This is a great one for We Shape Ourselves. Love the reflection of Mando and Grogu in the pauldron from season 1 of Mando. Right, great. The armor and 2 units. It's a 3 pip. You can divulge this one, and then you're going to choose one of the following effects. 2 allied units gain cash aim 1, or 2 allied units gain cash dodge 1 this game. And if you issue an order with it, they can make a recover action. So that's good. Like, that's a kind of a theme here. She's looking after her other units. She's trying to make sure that they're protected. I said that she's kind of like the Mandalorian Darth Vader, but like Mandalorian Darth Vader... like, Darth Vader is a little different. Darth Vader is like choking out. He'll choke out his fellows, whereas the Armorer is helping her fellows. So she's like the good version of Darth Vader, right? She's almost like what Darth Vader would be like if he was like white armor, like if he had come around, if he had been saved, and redeemed Darth Vader. This is kind of the vibes I'm getting off of this one. 2 pip here is nasty. Both Hunter and Prey. At the end of the Armorer's first activation, I said Darth Vader, right, because I knew this was coming. She may suffer a wound. If she does, shuffle her order token into the order pool during her second activation, which makes 1 fewer action. However, look, she's speed 2. She can jump, but she's got charge. So, yeah, she's going to come in and charge. She's going to pop you with that hammer again. That's a good... and it's only a 2 pip. Like, it's not even her 1 pip, right? Dude, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, granted, I don't know for sure if she's going to have a standalone 1 pip or not. This could just be a little teaser, or not every leader has 3 full cards nowadays, right? So who knows? Now, along with the tribe, Paz Vizsla. Ooh, look at that art. Look at that art. Anton Nazarenko. Ooh, killing it here. I should do that more. I should talk about the artists, right? For these cards. Paz, he's an operative, but he's got field commander. He's got jump 2, impervious, steady. Steady's very good, especially for a big shooty McGee, which he is. I don't know why I said that. And he's got the vibro knife, and he's got the repeating blaster. Look, he looks really, really good. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. So, surge to hit, surge to block. Speed 2, 5, 3 courage, which is also very nice. He still has the 105 points, but he still has the, again, the forge kind of light barrier around the number scheme. That's just so cool. And he's gonna have 2 equipment and 2 training. Very good. His 1 pip here, folks. This is kind of like Palpatine's like 1 pip, right? A little bit. It's a permanent. This card may only be selected if Paz Vizsla is within 2. And it's interesting how it's yeah. So it may only be selected when he's within 2 or more enemy units. He gains fearless, basically. His courage goes to 0. He gains a standby token. He gains stationary. He's not moving anymore, right? And he just drops anchor. He's like, this is where I'm going to be. And his weapons gain versatile. Additionally, when he spends a standby token, after the effect is resolved, he may suffer a wound. If he does, he gains a standby token. This is the most interesting way to do this that I've seen in this game, and I feel like there's so many fun and wild ways to do this. However, this is also one of those cards, one of those things that's like, well, all right, standby got nerfed a little bit, so it's not completely broken OP as it was, but still very cool. And props to Carlos Justino for this awesome art. I love the bouncing effect, like the way the blaster's ricocheting off of his armor right there. It looks really, really cool. So yeah, Paz looks super awesome. Also, we have some additional ways we can run some of these heroes in our existing units. We've got an Axe Woves individual mini card. We've got a Bo-Katan individual miniature card. And we have a Paz Vizsla individual miniature card with 2 wounds, which is very cool. And then we have an Armorer individual miniature card with the reliable 2 on there, which is also pretty cool. It's not bad. 4 dice for personnel, right? Very cool. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Leader, 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 and leader. So they're each going to be taking the leader role, and that is our look at our hero previews. But if you also, we didn't talk about this because this came out like last week, but the Mandalorian, like the core, like the troops, and there's so many different ways to run the troops. Is like there's so much going on with this box. This one's also I think the standalone box doesn't come out until July, but you're still going to get a lot of these in that army box that comes out in June. So you want to get these guys quick, get the whole army box in June. Mandalorian Initiates. Okay, this is like your basic version of them. This is a core with 5 as its base. So you're starting off with 5 troopers in here already. Not a single keyword. Okay, they're just Mandalorians. They're just Mandos. They can go anywhere. They can do anything. They're super Mandos. Well, no, they're young Mandos. These might be young kids that have just started to earned their helmet, but their armor's not full Beskar yet. You notice they don't have a defensive surge. They don't have impervious. They don't have full Beskar. Think of like how Mando was in season 1, episode 1. Right? They probably still have the helmet, but they don't have everything else. Or better yet, like the kids that were being trained on the beach, right? Courage 1, all right, it's a basic core. You do have Surge to Hit with black dice, so they're actually pretty good. For 56 points, it's a little on the expensive side, but keep in mind you are starting with a base size of 5. They have a black die for melee, they have a black die for ranged. It's range 1 to 2, but they have long shots, so if you got that aim, you can make that range 3 shot, which is kind of cool. And depending on where you put them, there might be different ways to get that aim. If you're running them in with the Night Owls, again, they also talk about how these guys are, depending on which battle force you put them in, they could potentially get new keywords and other cool things like that. Now, the basic Mandalorian Initiates, keep in mind, they are not mercenaries, so they are not, like, these guys aren't going with the rebels, right? These guys have to be trained up by Mandos first, so they're not going in your rebels or your empire or anywhere else. These are for the battle forces, and there's lots of them, and who knows, there might be more someday. All right, so you got to have a lot of versatility for these guys, and I think they really, you only have so many kind of Mando sculpts and ideas that you can do. You can't do like a billion different Mandalorians. So I think the fact that they've taken like this one core unit and done so many different things with it is kind of cool. Okay, so we have the back of the card here, 56 points. Kind of standard for core. I think that Mandalorian helmet is going to be kind of like the Clone Commander option that we'd see in the clones. I'm not 100% sure if they've talked about what the Mando helmet option is. That might be also reserved for their Battle Force or for their Creed. I'm sure somebody in the comments is going to let me know what it is. I'm just drawing a blank right now. But we have plenty more to talk about besides that one, and when the time comes, we'll talk more about it. But we also have the squad options, 45 more points to add 4 extra Mandos and make the super squad. And that's only for the initiates, but that's going to be a really big unit. Now that is going to make you having 9, and then of course your heavy will make it 10. That's going to be a big unit. It's going to be a big unit. So that's pretty cool. Now we have Mandalorian Warriors. These are your slightly more advanced. Like this is your tier 2 core, right? They have Surge to hit. They have 2 courage. They have jump 2, duelist, and impervious. These guys have some Beskar. They are maybe not full Beskar, but they're at least like hybrid, at least partial Beskar. I like it. 2 weapons for melee. They're pretty good in 2 dice for melee, a black and a white. They have a black die with a long shot and with the blaster rifles. Also, they have 64 points and a lot more upgrade options, so you can give them more cool stuff. Plus, you can give them the Galar 15 carbine, which makes them automatically 1 to 3 for their range. This is kind of like the new default. Like, this is the weapon they want to have, right? So these guys, depending on if they've like graduated high school, Mandalorian high school or not yet, you can start them with the basic blaster rifles. But if they're seniors, or if they're valedictorians, they can get the Galar 15 carbine at only 5 points. Now you're already spending 64 points for a core. That makes it 69 points. Nice. But yeah, so that's it can be a little expensive, but you're getting a good unit there. You're getting 5 in that unit as well. They're going to be pretty cool. I don't think that these guys can take the super squad, though. That's going to be an important thing. Okay. Mandalorian warriors, fire support. You can run them as a fire support, which is going to be a heavy weapons team. They're going to be led by their heavy. This is also going to be your support option. 4 minis here. They have the Galar 15 built in already. They have Surge to hit, still Courage 2, still 2 dice, all right? They're basically your Mandalorian warriors, just kind of upgraded. Like, these guys are your arrogant seniors that are also the ones that are, on the football team at school. That's why they have the carbine already. They don't have to pay the tax for it. Right? I'm making up things at this point. But they have the heavy weapons team. They're also impervious, and they have Sharpshooter 1, and then a detachment of Mandalorian warriors. So that's kind of how your super squad works, right? You just separate it into 2 different things. So you're going to have these guys over here. They're 55 points. You will have to take that heavy, right? And we have 1 of the heavy. And they suggest there will be more, which would make sense. We do have a sniper option here. That's range 1 to 4 and has a lethal 1 and a red and a black. We can also run Clan Kryze veterans. And the cool thing here is, like, I'm not sure how many cards we're actually going to get in the box, if we're going to get these for every single possible type of Mandalorian, but they can always do print and play for other ones in the future, which is also a cool idea. Clan Kryze veterans, Mandalorian troopers right here. Oh, man, these guys are going to be so fun to paint, and at the same time, it's going to be like, how do I want to paint my guys? Do I want them to be like black and red so they can work with Maul? Do I want them to be blue and silver so they could work with like Clan Kryze? Do I want them to be like red and gold so they can work with the Armorer? Do I want them to be like a custom combination? Do I want them to be kind of like brown and silver so they can kind of look cool with like Din Djarin? Like, how do you want to paint them? Do you do them kind of slightly like neutral so they can work with anything? Like, oh my gosh. Or does every Mando just go in their own direction? Looking at like all of these different options, it's very fun. It's very cool. And if you're into painting and if you're a hobbyist, I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this. I know I am very excited. Okay. Clan Kryze veterans, special forces of 5. So big old special forces unit, but they're not cheap. 120 points, right? Also, mercenaries, like you tend to see with Clan Kryze. Mandalorians are stronger together. They're tactical 1, impervious, jump 2. These guys are experts, right? They've got the impervious, they've got the red save, and the surge to block, and surge to hit, which is pretty cool. They have the Galar 15s, and their blaster pistols that can also be used in melee up to range 2. So they're really good at range 2, but they have the Galar 15s. Like, these guys are like super cool. I like them. And they've got heavy personnel, and then grenades and equipment and training at 120 points. Nasty. And then they have the Shakural 5 Mandalorian miniature that can go in any Mandalorian trooper unit, which has Overwhelm and 3 black dice at range 1 to 3, which is a nice like way to add some extra stuff, especially if that's going to be maybe your leader in one of the your fire supports or something like that. That's cool. You've also got the micro grenade launcher, which is still 3 dice, but it's 2 white and a black. This is also a cycle weapon, but it has blast. Impact 1 and blast, and blast is important. So it's a nice thing to have. So that's just a look at what we're going to be seeing for our basic Mandalorian warriors, and their initiates, and your basic Mandalorian troopers. You're going to get some of these in Mandalorian Army Box, I believe, and also they'll be their own separate box. I think these are going to sell like hotcakes. I think people are going to want to hobby the heck out of them. I love the different options they have in the photography here too. By the way, AMG's photography folks have been just nailing it with a lot of the photos they've been taking lately. Really showcases these, and they look super fun. So that's our Mando preview, folks. Pretty cool stuff. I know there was a lot to go over. Definitely check out the Discord. And check out Patreon. We got some giveaways over on Patreon if you want to get your name in the credits, early access to some things, giveaways, and all kinds of cool stuff. There's different options down there. Also Discord roles and stuff too. And then there's the Discord giveaway for Axe Woes. So check that out. That's going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys absolutely out of this world. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all. And always wash your socks.